Kind of walk you around the yard now a little bit, show you what's going on. 464 is over here being serviced on the other track, and it was in the stall originally, and they let some stuff down, and now they gotta clean out the fire for the night. That's what they're doing over here. Over here is number 7. I gave you an overview of that last year. And over here is number 11. You saw that in the shop last year on just the weed sprayer. Well, now it's kind of more of an MOW train. So, yeah. This shed behind here, it belongs to the Friends of the Huckleberry Railroad. And they got a couple of speeder cars in there. And it's a pretty interesting little shed. It's been repainted a bunch of times, but now it's actually in the colors of the railroad, which is this yellow and kind of maroonish brown thing. You've seen my models, HO models of the 464 and some of the coaches, and I'm going to be doing some more of those. Some of them are going to be scratch built. I also plan on getting some more freight cars. I don't know if I'm going to get this train though. It's going to be more difficult. This engine is starting to look like it needs a paint job. Because originally worked on a tram railway out in Wisconsin for the Badger Army Ammunition Depot back in the 60s and 70s. It's a little 5-tonner gas hydrostat locomotive. Built in 1967 by Plymouth. Pretty simple. I guess the way to explain it would be you kind of operate it like your lawnmower. It'd be the same thing, just a lot larger. Here's a key and a button ignition. It's got a Case IH 5-cylinder gas engine in there. So yeah, I think it's only about 200 horsepower. So not much, but enough to get the job done around here. Yeah. These flat cars came from the same place too. We got oil can over here, admiring it.
Hey, I'm just wondering if this is like a Ferguson tractor.
Kind of the same thing.
Okay.
I was just explaining that to the viewers.
Hey, what are you filming this for TV or something?
Oh, for YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember Oil Can. You probably remember him. He's usually dressed as a clown, but he used to entertain people on the original excursions that 1225 used to run. He's out here for Rail Fans Weekend with one of his standard gauge speeders. Here's a nice view of the weed sprayer flat car. Yeah. Probably. It's a Case IH engine. Okay, well, he corrected me. It's International Harvester before Case. So it's just an IH. Yeah. Over here is where they keep spare wheels and trucks. These would be mostly for freight cars, though. The wheels, though, could pretty much go under anything. They're here. But the trucks pretty much came off cars from the different railroad cars. Quincy and Torch Lake here in Michigan, well, in the Hancock area, the Keweenaw Peninsula, the Upper Peninsula, had a bunch of what was left of cars. And these are a lot of the wheels came off of those, and yeah. These are the driving sets for the Quincy and Torch Lake number 3, the only Michigan engine on this line. And of course it doesn't operate. You saw that in the video last year. We're going to get another view of it here. You can see the boiler. This boiler here in front is actually a newer boiler, and the one behind it is the actual number 3. But they're talking about making a museum up in Houghton to maybe they'll donate that back. See, they've re-extended the siding down here. Last year it was kind of looking a little rough, but they've kind of got it finished up to the point where it's back behind here, up to the fence. Car 9's a home-built car. It was built on top of an East Broad Top flat car. So it was originally had the windows open on it, but when they started running Christmas trains back in like 1983-84, they had to put the windows in. Here's now I can finally get you a close-up shot of the East Broad Top Hopper, car 821. I just got hold on one second, Bill. I just got another Blackstone Miles version of this. It doesn't have the number on it, but I'm going to put 821 on there eventually. I'll show that in another video. Bill is just about to talk about this engine here.
This is a Caterpillar power locomotive. It's got about the same power as a D6 Cat.
Yeah.
Basically a D6 Cat made for the rails.
Yeah, it's a little 12-ton Plymouth.
Yep.
Built around 1950, I think.
Yep.
They make a model of this. I think I might get that in HON 3 scale and try and get a motor for it. It's a plastic model.
You gotta remember, oil can knows trains and tractors.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, if you didn't know Bill already, he also does tractors.
And then there's Dan Mitchell down there. He knows tanks.
Yeah, Dan, he's one of the volunteers. You can see him all the way down there in the white.
But also he volunteers up at the Sloan on the Hellcat tank destroyer made at Buick City in Flint. So.
Yeah, he's a wealth of information. So if you're ever out here on a tour and he's your tour guide, he is the one to talk to.
He knows his heavy equipment.
He sure does. I tell you, Bill, you're not telling me anything new. And here's a nice shot of 152's tender. They're telling me that when they do the rebuild, they're going to have to do like 464 and take the whole body off here and start from scratch. Build a whole new tank and bunker on there. But of course they'll save the frame and the trucks, everything original on the bottom. Because if you look here on the sill, you can see how it's rusted through while the way. This here is a piece of wood trim that covers up the side planks. But if you look, maybe it's open. Yeah, yep. Look in here, you can see where a big thing of rust is kind of falling up in here. So it would take more than needle scaling to fix that. You need a whole new bunker. And the tank is also rusting through inside. So it's in pretty bad shape. That's why they're looking at getting a whole new body for it. But the rest of it will stay the same. And I'm pretty much here at the end of the track. For now, they built a new shed back here that they're supposedly gonna extend the track to eventually so they can put more cars in. So that'll be interesting to see. Maybe I'll do the tour again next year and get another video.
Did you explain though that how you start that Cat diesel on a pony motor?
Oh yeah, you better explain that to him, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm about to run out of time here.
This is a D6 Cat motor. It's the older style. We have a pony motor, a small gas motor, 2-cylinder to start the 6-cylinder motor.
It takes another piece of machinery to start the big piece.
Yep. It's sort of neat how they do it, but now you have those electric starts and boom, you have them to start. But in cold weather, it's nice to have that little gas motor running so it warms everything. And then once you start that diesel, you've got warm oil and you got warm water in there, and boom, she starts.
Yeah, I think you said that it still works, but they don't need to use it because of number 11. And you see how bad shape the inside of it here is. See the tank here for the fuel, and the engineer sits pretty much right next to it. But and there's the other seat there. And yeah, well, it's kind of torn apart in there too, so it wouldn't look quite so bad if it was back together. But for right now, it doesn't really run at all. So it'd be interesting to see it in the Huckleberry paint.
It wouldn't take much to get this running. Cats, they have 9 lives. You can't.
Yeah, you know how those. Yeah, of course, Caterpillar, their subsidiary Progress Rail bought Electromotive Diesel (EMD), which was, of course, is the big locomotive builder nowadays, along with General Electric.
You know what General Patton said about the Cats D7 and D8s? He'd trade them off for a Sherman tanks any day.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the overview of out here in the back, and we'll see what happens next year. If you're ever down here for Real Fans Weekend, come on out. This is the only time the shop is open. So yeah, from the back shops here at the Huckleberry Railroad, that's it.
And if you forgot